Hello and welcome. Today I'm challenging myself to make as many triangle bags as I can in one weekend. And I'm going to be crocheting those. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I found out that if you make 3 squares, you can actually crochet them together to get this cute triangle bag. And there's so many different variations. And I also found a tutorial of making like an enormous rectangle and then folding it in and also making a triangle bag. So I want to make several triangle bags and see how many I can make in one weekend. So right now it is Saturday morning around 10:30 and it is very rainy outside. We were supposed to go on the golf course this morning. I just walk, but my boyfriend golfs. But then now it's all of a sudden like super rainy today. So let's just see how far I can get, and I'll share with you my Pinterest board. But first I'll show you the yarns that I'm thinking of using. So I have a bunch of this black acrylic and I'm thinking of using like 3 strands of this held together to make a chunky bag and doing the rectangle thing. So really a plain bag that's very useful. Then I also have so much cotton yarn. So here is a bunch of my cotton yarn. I have more, but I have so many different colors that I never really use. So I was thinking of making some granny squares with this, and I'm inspired to make those like retro daisies kind of squares. And also I was thinking just to use granny stitch and make another rectangle. So I'll figure out what kind of colors I want to use for that. But here is a selection of my cotton stash. So I would use like a 4mm hook or something like that, maybe a 5. So here is my Pinterest board. So as you can see, a lot of different triangle type bags. I started out with this one. I really like this one, but I think the picture is also just really good with the lighting and all the blues. So that's really cute. But then, oh, it just takes me back here. All right. But there's like a bunch of different styles of that granny square type of bag. And then I found that tutorial. So this is the tutorial that I was talking about, how to crochet a triangle bag with amazing technique. But basically what you do is she said it here. You go like this and then you fold it, and she's gonna fold it like around here. So you just like go from there and then you just fold it like that. So that is what I want to make a lot out of. And then back to the Pinterest board. So yeah, I was thinking of making some granny square ones, but then also just making a bunch of those rectangles. And then these chunky style ones are so good. This is actually a pattern by Loose Ends. It's called like the Triangle Tote. And I really like that one, but he uses t-shirt yarn and a 12mm hook. And I was thinking of buying the pattern, but then I thought, okay, I don't have a 12mm hook. The biggest hook that I have, I do have an 18 somewhere, but I think I'm going to use like a 10mm hook. And I think I can just do it with that rectangle thing. I don't know if he did a rectangle or different squares. But anyway, here is some more inspiration. And then I was also thinking of making something mesh type, like this bag. And then like crocheting a rectangle of mesh and then making it together like the tutorial that I just showed you. And then also I was thinking I really like these, like I thought these were called like African flower granny squares, but now I can just find them as retro daisy. But I was thinking of making something like that, like as like granny squares, and then like making them together, or make 3 granny squares and then making a rectangle out of that with this style with those stripes, because I really like that. So yeah, I have a bunch of different ideas, and I'm just thinking I want to start with like a simple rectangle one just to try out the technique. So I'm thinking of using that acrylic black yarn that I was talking about. and trying to make like a chunkier one like this one. So the rectangle technique from that tutorial. So yeah, let's get started. So this is how far I am. It is about 8:30. So I don't know how many I'm gonna be able to make this weekend, but I'm about 2/3 on the way. It needs to be three times the length as it is the width. And I'm just doing a really simple repeat of like every row, like 2 different rows basically. So I'm doing one row, I'm doing everything half double crochet, and then on one row I'm just doing them normally, and then the other row I'm doing it in the front loop only to kind of create like a little bit more stripe look, you know, like you can see the back post of some of the stitches, and then the back looks different than the front. So this is the front side. And yeah, you just need to have it 3 times as big. I'm doing 30 stitches, although it kind of looks like, nah, I think it's fine. Every time I kind of feel like I'm going crooked, but I'm not. But yeah, I think this is going to be really nice. Also, I got out some of my cotton, and I realized I have a lot of different shades of purple. And I was thinking of maybe making a purple one. And maybe if I feel like I've had enough of this black yarn, or when it gets dark, I'll start doing a mesh one, like with a triple crochet and then like chain stitches. And I've done it before, but I'm gonna look up a tutorial, and then I'm just gonna make a rectangle like this one. So yeah, I might do that before finishing this one, but you'll see me do that. So here's my little update. And oh yeah, we got rained on. We ended up going to the golf course, and then we got rained on. So I was super wet, and I was wearing my new sweater, and my sweater got super wet. Not me thinking I didn't need a rain jacket. I thought it was going to be dry for the rest of the day, but it wasn't. So yeah, that's why I'm like super cozy in my pajamas now the rest of the day. So yeah, let's continue crocheting. Working on this for about an hour, and see how far I already am. So this is the final color. I have 5 different colors. You might not really be able to see the difference between some of these, but these 2 have glitter in them, and this one doesn't, and these 2 don't either. So yeah, I have this light lilac, and then like a darker one another darker one, and 2 whites. So yeah, this is going really fast. And I'm doing treble crochet or triple crochet. I don't know, the one where you do 2 yarn overs. And I am doing 2 chains between each mesh crochet. I didn't find the tutorial that I used to use for this, so I just remembered. Like, I was like, okay, there was triple crochet and then there was like some kind of space. So yeah, I felt like the space was good, and I feel like this is going to be a super cute market bag. Like, it's already a triangle. I'm about like a third on the way. So there's 13 mesh stitches to the side, and then I have 8, so this is the 9th, like in the length. But I was thinking of just going for 3 times 13, even though I think it's actually a little longer than it is wide. And let's see if I can stretch it out. Yeah, I can stretch it out this way too. So I think I'll just do 3 times 13, and then I can crochet it together really nicely, because you keep having to crochet like the long end with the wide end with the height end. You'll see later when I do it. So I think it would be good if I have 13, 13, 13, everything 13. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this one. I'm already thinking of how to attach it, but that's what you get when it's so easy. Yeah, and I put my black one down for a bit because it's too dark to work on it. And I'm so happy how fast this is going. So I might be able to crank some more out now. I was like, oh man, I can only finish 1 bag this weekend. But now I feel a lot better. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more. So honestly, today was kind of a throwaway day for this challenge. So tomorrow is actually, we have a long weekend. So tomorrow's Monday. And I think I'll do tomorrow as like instead of today for this challenge. So yeah, today we ended up doing a lot of other things, but that's okay. It's like 9:30 right now. Look how light it still is. And yeah, this is how far I am on the mesh one with all the purples and the white in there. I am going a little bit longer than like 3 times the width, but I want the amount of mesh holes to line up. So I'm going 3 times 13, which is 39 mesh holes. But I think it will be better if the mesh holes line up the amount of them and not the length, and then I can kind of stretch it out. And then this is how far I am on the black one. I think 1, 2, 3, like I'm at 23 and I need to be at 30. So 30 times going back and forth. So, but it's already almost dark, so I think I'll just work on the mesh one, and then maybe tonight see if I want to start one of the granny square ones, but really today is almost bedtime. So that's okay. I'll use tomorrow as well. So yeah, the challenge is going a little bit different than what I intended for it to be, but that's okay.
Nee. Ja, als iemand gaat pissen boven voor die neus. Hé? Dat ging gewoon zo naar achter. Die ging gewoon plat in de neus. Dat was ook zo raar. Dat is echt zo vies. Dat ik dus dus de hele rest van de reis steeds een tas op de schouder. Zo van ja, ook überhaupt dat er dus iemand op. Oh mijn god. Iemand dat doet. Toen was er onderweg. Was er zo'n starter.
I have finished the panel, and also, oh, it's blowing out really well. So it is 35 centimeters wide and then 3 times that amount in length. So that's 1 meter and 5 centimeters, 105 centimeters. But I'm not gonna fold it yet because I think it would be a good idea to have this to measure other triangle bags, and I'll show you some more colors, because besides these I have all of these colors too, and I think they look really nice. I'm thinking of making some granny squares with these colors now, and then I'll use the black one as like a canvas to see how big I want it to be, because I do think that's a good size. And then I also have to show you my finished bag, which is over here. I was already using it today to get some groceries, but this one is definitely a little smaller than that one, but it worked out. I did have a lot more length than 3 times because the holes weren't like symmetrical or like a perfect cube or square, I mean. So it is a little like, it kind of leans a certain way, but I feel like after I used it, it already like stretched out in the right way. And then I made this really small strap and it is perfect. Yeah, so one is definitely done. The second one, I have the panel finished. And then now I'm gonna make some granny squares. And then I was also thinking of, so I would like sew the granny squares together, like 3 granny squares. And I was also thinking of doing another one with triple crochet or treble crochet. So that's what I used for this mesh, but then not make mesh, but just make treble crochet with a thicker yarn. I don't know. I'm just like kind of experimenting. I'm having fun, so that's good. But let's first make some granny squares with these colors. So yesterday I made this granny square, but then I realized, and I put them in order in a little clip, I have sunset colors. So I'm putting this to the side, and what I am thinking for this one is I'm gonna end with the blue, and I'm gonna make it like different colors, like 3 granny squares with different colors, and then have the blue as like the main color. And then for my sunset colors, I started with the thing in the middle already. So I'm using a 5mm hook for this. And I am making treble crochet granny square clusters. So this is treble crochet. So I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger than this one because it takes a long time. And I did this one on the 4.5mm. So I made these and I'm gonna do them one by one. Also, something that I realized was over here, you can see there's like a little bit more space and you can kind of see the yarn showing through. I was just like, I just continued crocheting So I didn't fasten off my yarn and added a new yarn. I just continued crocheting with a new color. So I just pulled it through the loop, and that made it really, I don't know if this is going to be super sturdy as a bag. So up here I like fasten it off. So for this other bag, I want to make sure that I fasten them off all the time. And if I fasten them off, then I can just make the inside and then make the next color. So these are gonna have 7 different colors. And I kind of wanted to end with this white, but I don't have that much of the white. And I have a lot of this sand color that I made my boyfriend's Relaxagon shirt out of that has a vlog. So, and this was the contrast color of that, by the way. So I'm going to do this, and then I have another pink, then I have like kind of red, then I have this orange, then I have bright yellow, then I have this yellow, and then I have that sand color to tie it all together. And I feel like sand is nice with a sunset. Yeah, and there is this picture on Pinterest that is also sunset colors, so I really wanted to have one of those. So I'm doing that, and also I'm not talking about what day it is now. Yeah, it's longer than a weekend, but also we're like slowly wrapping things up. Yeah, so we're not talking about how long this is taking. I'm just making triangle bags. I mean, it's day 4 now, but whatever. I'm just gonna crochet these. So good. All right, granny squares. Look how great this sunset is looking. So I'm working on the first square, like the light yellow on the first square. I have a few things to tell you about these squares. So I'm doing triple crochet. I never know if it's triple crochet or treble crochet. But anyway, we're gonna do 2 yarn overs. And they look like this. But because you create more length, you kind of have to have a little bit more stitches. So what I ended up doing was doing 3 chains in the corners instead of 2. 2 is what I was doing with my double crochet granny square over here. So here I did 3 in the corners, and it kind of seems to work out. Like when I stretch it out, it looks fine. It's a little, there's like a lot of fabric here in the middle, but I did not do that for the first 2 colors. I did 2 stitches in the corner. So I feel like that's why the rest is looking kind of good, but then in the middle it's like a little bit more fabric. But because it's a bag, it's not that big of a deal. Like it's gonna stretch out anyway, and it's kind of nice that it's sturdy. So, yeah, that's the update. So I'm really happy I was doing them all 3 at a time, because I feel like if I would have done 1, I would have been at the same spot right now, but then still had to make 2 more. But look how good this, I love the way that this sunset is looking. I feel like it worked out so perfectly. I didn't even realize I had all these colors. I had many more colors in stash, and then I lined them all up, and then I realized I have sunset colors. So yeah, the final color that I'm using is this sand color, the leftovers from my boyfriend's Relaxagon shirt. So that's going to be the final round of treble crochets. Triple, don't know. And then I'm gonna join, and I think I'm gonna join the same way that I joined my Astrid pillows. I have one back here leaning against it right now. Yeah, they're being used, but they have a really nice joining method. So I'm going to use that joining method. I don't know if it's just like an unlisted video, but there was a video on her YouTube channel, Mallory Crawl, or of not a crawl, crochet, something like that. I'll see if I can link it. But it's basically where you see the seam and you go like, kind of have this cross. So I think that would be cool to do. So I'm gonna finish this round, do the sand, and then join together with the sand and do a little strap. And also, if you fold it, you can kind of see how big it's gonna get. So this is like the, undoing my stitches. So nice with crochet that it doesn't matter. Knitting is a different story. But so here's gonna be, so it's gonna be like this big and probably like this big because I still need one more layer. So like it's gonna be bigger than you think. Then when you see this, you're like, oh, that's a small bag. But then if you think of it in 3D, it will kind of be big. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, and I'll see what kind of strap I do. That's it. And for this one, I'm still thinking I'm gonna finish this one off, following the colors and ending with the blue, and then doing with all the other colors that I have. I have this whole row of colors on the couch right there. I'm gonna do like the same thing, but then with different colors, but I'm gonna still have the blue in the same spot, so that I can finish with the blue on every square and have it like at the same spots. But the rest I'm gonna change, but I feel like this would be my favorite because I really like these colors together. So yeah, I don't know how, like when I'm gonna finish, but we'll see that. Just a quick update that I finished this bag. Look how cute it is. And right now I am working on this square. I'm on the final round and I'm gonna be starting 2 other granny squares, just like this, with the same size, but like other colors. And I think it's gonna be pretty large because these are a lot bigger than the squares that I made for this bag. And I feel like this is a pretty decent sized bag. So I'm just gonna keep crocheting on that and then we'll finish this video. I still need to put together my black bag too. Alrighty, so I'm calling it quits. Honestly, I am this far on the 2 extra granny squares that I need to finish. Oh, there's a like one of these. So I was making 2 more of these with these colors, ending with the blue because I don't have enough blue to do the color in the granny square as well. But I am done. We are leaving tomorrow on our trip. So I can't do anymore. I will do a little bit more, but I can't finish this video otherwise. But I did finish 3 bags. So, yay! So here they are. I really like this one. This is the sunrise one. I really like it. I improvised the whole thing. I did the treble crochets and then I did 7 different colors. And then with the final color, I used that as a border and then I made a single crochet to attach them together. And I did that continuous. So yeah, I did the continuous, like I went like that, and then I continued in the other one, the other side. So it's pretty easy to do. I really enjoy this one. I think it's really cute and super simple. It's like a perfect beach bag. I might take it with me on my trip. Also because it's nice and small. Yeah, so I'm gonna think about that one. And then I finished sewing together my black bag. And I feel like this one is the most usable, wearable. Like, it's so cute. It's so simple, but so cute. It's like, I just sewed it together here at the top. So there's no like separate strap because this hole is definitely big enough for your arm. Yeah, and I just think it's really cute. I left my stitch marker on there because I thought it looked fun with a little embellishment on there. So there is the black triangle bag. And then finally, and you will have seen this one already, here is the mesh one. And I was using it to go to the gym today. And what is great is I have a little clip on my keys. So I could clip my keys on here. So then I could bring everything that I needed in my bag and it just stretches out with everything that's in there. So that's really great. So those are the 3 bags that I managed to finish. I will finish the other one as well at some point, but outside of this video. So if you want to see how that one turned out, then be sure to check out my podcast. I have an occasional knitting podcast, but I will be filming one after my trip. So you will see that one somewhere in August, but I'll share everything. What I do is like I kind of share everything in there, even though I made a video about it, but that hasn't been in a knitting podcast yet. And I'm doing knitting because this is not knitting, but I do share my crocheting in there as well. So thank you so much. Let me get closer. I always feel weird when I'm far back like that, but I also feel like I'm always like right in your face. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this challenge that I did. If you have other suggestions for challenges to do, especially with crocheting, then let me know. Or maybe knitting, like knit a sweater in a weekend or something. Like I don't want to hurt my hands, but I think if you use a big needle, then you could, in theory. So yeah, let me know if you have any other ideas for challenges that I could try out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you after my trip. Bye!